everybody. Welcome to AP Physics 1. I'm Mrs. Caro. In terms of the summer assignment for AP Physics 1 can be found on the Del Val website with the rest of the AP and Honors summer assignments. Our summer assignment is no new content. AP Physics 1 in our school is meant to be a first-year physics course. So for most of you, this is the first physics course that you've taken. So there's no new content to learn. Everything that's on that summer assignment is a review of things you've done in your chemistry, biology, and math courses up until this point. So basically what we did was, using all of the prerequisites for the course, we reviewed the components that you would need right out of the gate. That being said, sometimes there are areas that are tougher for some students and easier for others. So all of the videos that you see here for our particular summer assignment are optional. Only go through the videos if you need help with a particular topic. So they're there in order to help you, but again, most of this should kind of be old hat for you. All of the videos are going to be under this one on the website, and again, feel free to pick and choose any that you need for some extra support. As the summer goes on, if you have a question on the summer assignment, please email me. I check my Del Val email pretty frequently, and I'd be happy to help you. This particular video is just a brief overview of the year and an introduction to physics. First day of school, I usually ask people, what is physics? And it is a difficult question to answer. Physics is sometimes called the most basic of all the sciences, not because it's the easiest, but because it's the nature of the universe, or, it's the study of the nature of the universe. So physicists think about the physical phenomenon that happens here, and they try to explain it. So when we say basic things, the nature of basic things, forces, energy, sound, matter, motion, light, heat, composition of atoms. And a lot of students at this point tell me, hey, Mrs. Carroll, like matter, composition of atoms, like I thought that was chemistry. And you can see there's definitely some overlap here in what we'll study. Physics is a really broad topic. There's a lot of topics, subtopics within the subject. This is the second year that College Board is running AP Physics 1 and AP Physics 2. So if you have older brothers or sisters, they may have taken a course called AP Physics B. That was an algebra-based physics course that was a full-year course that had a lot of topics in it. In AP Physics 1 and AP Physics 2, there are less topics than there were in AP Physics B, but there's an expectation that every student in these courses develops these science practices. So there's going to be a large emphasis on your ability to use representations and models to communicate about physical phenomenon. You'll be, assessed on using math appropriately, engaging in scientific questioning, planning and implementing data collection, performing your own data analysis, designing experiments, connecting and relating knowledge across various scales. So really, really important that you know that this isn't just just physics and simple math. This is going to be a lot about some advanced problem solving and reasoning. So I put both AP Physics 1 and AP Physics 2 on this slide. Our course will only cover AP Physics 1. AP Physics 1 is meant for the first year physics student, and AP Physics 2 is open to seniors that have taken AP Physics 1. So that may be an option for you for 12th grade. AP Physics 1, these are the topics that we're looking at on the left here. You'll notice that there's some overlap between the two courses. So for example, my favorite topic is electricity, especially DC circuits. And you'll notice that circuits show up for AP Physics 2 as well. They will spend a little more time dealing with other facets of circuits. So they'll look at capacitors, and they'll have multiple parallel branches and complex circuits, where we'll deal with simple DC circuits. What does physics have to do with math? I get asked this question a lot. Um, Nature can be analyzed, modeled, and described mathematically. And I think that's one of the most beautiful things about physics is trying to look at the physical phenomenon that happened in the universe and kind of figure out what's going on. Is this something that can be modeled mathematically? And how simple is it, or how complex is it? So in our course, we will explore those math patterns, but we will develop the concepts first. So the math is important, but especially in AP Physics 1, the concepts need to come first, and you need to have a deep understanding of those concepts as well. But math is sometimes called the language of physics, and it's really, really important to us, but I don't want you to think that physics is just another math class, because it's not. We use math as a tool in a lot of what we do, but physics is kind of a subject on its own. What does a physicist do? Physicists study the universe. I mean, it seems really broad, and it's because it is. So some physicists study the smallest parts of matter, are particle physicists, but a physicist could also be somebody that's studying, this habitable zone, or, galaxies. There's somebody like an astrophysicist. So we study the smallest parts of matter and the largest parts of matter. On the next couple of slides here, I just put a number of questions to give you an idea of the kinds of things that you would learn in your first physics class here. So you can kind of pause and take a look through these. And I hope by the end of the year, you're saying, well, physics is pretty much everything, because it is. All right, so these last two physics resources I'd love for you to check out before we get started here. The first one is our class website. So it's just caroscience.com. Really easy to remember. If you want to bookmark it, feel free. One thing I just want to mention is that caroscience.com used to be the web address for my college prep classes. This year I only have 3 sections of AP, so I thought I'd give you guys the easier address. So I kind of swapped the sites there. And I'll just take you there to give you an example of what you'll see every day. I still have, this was the last post that I made on the last day of school. It's a note to my students from last year. But let me just show you a typical day here. You would see the topic. I might talk about what we did in class or kind of questions for further investigation. I like to list the big ideas from that day, and I like to do that in question form so that every day that you go home, you could read these questions, and if you're able to answer them, then you know that you're right where you need to be. And if it's something that you have to stop and think about for a while, or something that you're struggling with, you can take that evening to try and get to the bottom of it, or prepare some questions for me to go over with you in class the next day. So it's just a way that I like to give you a way to assess yourself every day, and also just to kind of keep the conversation going and keep the ideas going from class to class to class. On the very bottom, you'll always see tonight's homework as well, which is really helpful if you're not in class, or if, came in late and didn't write it down or something like that. This is where you'll find the homework, the big ideas from the day, and then a brief description of what we did. On this website, I usually will post solutions, like I'm just looking at this example here, check out the solutions, and I have a link to that here. So it's kind of a one-stop place. These are just other websites that are pretty cool. I use tags here. So if you're looking at a particular topic, you could click on those, and then all of the archives are available to you as well. So this is caroscience.com. Hopefully this is a place that will be helpful to you throughout the year. The last site that I'd like you to look at is the College Board website. It's the AP Physics 1 page for students. There's a number of resources on here that you may need throughout the year. This is a course overview, but really the best course overview that you'll find is these PDFs on your screen here. You'll also see an exam description, which I think is really important. I think you should look at the end first and then kind of get there. I'll talk about the exam as well the first week of school. AP Physics 1 equation tables, we use these every day in class. Maybe you're at home and you don't have yours with you. It's not a problem. You can come to this website and the equation table is available for you right here. So you can kind of check these out. And they have not haven't changed too much. This is the AP Physics 1 course document that you can get off the site. Please go through. It's only 2 pages. Please go through and read it. It'll give you an idea of what some sample questions will look like, the format of our test in May, and the idea of science practices that I talked about earlier, which are such a large part of this course. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have any questions related to this year, please feel free to email me. I am happy to help. And I hope that you have a great summer. Thanks.